one of the things that I'll tell you, and you can respond. I said, and I've been on record as saying that I think Shedeur Sanders is the most pro-ready quarterback to come out in the last 15 to 20 years. I got a lot of blowback on it because everybody went immediately to like skills, right? And those measurables of being a quarterback. And none of what I said had anything to do with what he does on the field. It had everything to do with how he's been raised. Like he's been raised like a professional. He's had money for a very long time. He's not going to come into the NFL and all of a sudden go, oh my gosh, I get to buy this, I get to buy that. He's got 8 cars now, right? Yeah. Like he's got everything. He's got jewelry. He's one of the best looking quarterbacks that you've ever seen come out. And that includes all of the chiseled jaw white guys that have come out in the past that just have the world as their oyster because they're chiseled jawed and they're white and they play quarterback. But Shedeur Sanders and Shiloh Sanders as well, they are the sons of Deion Sanders and a supermodel, right? Like they are good looking dudes. So this guy is not going to come into the league and be surprised by anything when it comes to that standpoint. He also has a Hall of Famer who understands glitz and glamour and how to navigate that in his father, who is as new school / old school as they come. A lot of the way he carries himself and his persona is new school. All of his core beliefs and values are all old school core beliefs and values. And so I looked at that and said, that to me makes him the most pro-ready, regardless of his skill set, which I think is actually a lot higher than what a lot of people will give him credit for.
I know, I love that take. And I think that's a really valid, because from the standpoint of skill-wise, I mean, he fits in there with some of the top 5 guys from last year for sure on a skill standpoint, in terms of how he sees the field, how he recovers from mistakes, and can he look at something that he got confused by or somebody confused him, and can he come back and not make the same mistake twice in the game? Yeah, he does that well. He maneuvers a pocket well. He's got accuracy. The arm strength is certainly there. The maneuverability and to be able to throw and, reset and fire, all that stuff's there. A lot of what you're looking for from a good player. But the ability to handle the bandwidth of everything there, that makes total sense. And you're right, because I mean, look, I can tell a funny story about waiting tables for Deion Sanders after he got arrested literally down the street from my from where I was living at a Kroger, and I can tell you that the Duluth, Georgia Police Department was overzealous. He was parking in a fire lane to get medicine for his for I think it was his wife at the time, or a girlfriend who was pregnant, and it was midnight. Nobody was there. He just did what most people do. They parked in the fire lane, put the hazards on, and the police officer arrested him after he tried to have a conversation with them about all of that. And I remember, you see what he's been through, stuff that athletes go through, from the really good to things like that, know, and the kind of media attention that you get from that. Because I waited on him a week after that, and he came into a place with a couple of teammates, and you could tell he was pretty hot about everything that was going on with him, and felt like people were, felt like he felt a little bit of a target, and he felt and understandably angry about a lot of that. But the point being is, he's had these experiences, the highs and the lows, and his son gets to see that. And he's had the ability to take that perspective and the maturity that he's gained and the knowledge that he's gained on and off the field. And he's been able to give his sons the opportunity to see some of that. Some of that they're going to have to experience themselves, but they've already gotten an early taste, like you said, gotten an early taste with the environment with college football as it is. So that adjustment's going to be good for him.